Welcome, everyone, to today's episode on a fascinating and increasingly vital topic, cross-cultural and global communication. I'm Yogesh, and joining me as always is the ever-curious, ever-insightful Lily.
Thank you, Yogesh. I'm really excited about today's conversation. In our interconnected world, understanding how to communicate across cultures isn't just a soft skill, it's a strategic advantage.
Absolutely. And this goes beyond language barriers. It's about values, context, body language, even silence. Cross-cultural communication affects everything, from virtual team meetings to international negotiations.
And often what we don't know we're doing, like assuming everyone uses yes the same way, can lead to misinterpretations and even conflict.
In the next 3 hours, we'll unpack the dimensions of cross-cultural communication, global competence, virtual collaboration, case studies, tools, and strategies. Let's begin. Segment 2, Foundations of Culture and Communication, 25 to 45 minutes.
Lily, let's start with defining culture. It's often described as an iceberg, right?
Exactly. The visible part, like dress, language, food, is just the tip. Below the surface lie beliefs, values, and assumptions. That's where most communication challenges originate.
Right, and communication is deeply cultural. For example, some cultures value directness. Others prefer diplomacy and indirectness.
Yes, think of the US versus Japan, or Finland versus India. A direct no may be seen as rude in one culture, but as clarity in another.
We'll also explore Hall's concepts of high context and low context communication, and Hofstede's cultural dimensions soon.
Segment 4, Key Frameworks in Cultural Understanding, 25 to 75 minutes. Let's dive into Gert Hofstede's 6 dimensions of culture. Power distance is a big one.
Yes, in high-power distance cultures like Malaysia or the Philippines, hierarchy is respected. In low-power distance cultures like Sweden or Australia, people expect equality and open dialogue.
And then we have individualism versus collectivism. The US and UK value personal freedom and individual success. In contrast, Japan or Colombia prioritize group harmony and consensus.
Don't forget uncertainty avoidance, masculinity versus femininity, long-term orientation, and indulgence versus restraint. These dimensions explain why teams behave so differently.
And Hall's high versus low context theory helps decode how explicit or implicit communication styles are.
Yes, for instance, Germans are low context. They say what they mean. Meanwhile, Koreans use high context cues like silence or tone to convey meaning.
Segment 5, Global Business Communication Challenges, 75 to 100 minutes. Now let's talk real-world business. What are some common breakdowns in global communication?
Email tone is a big one. A blunt email from a Dutch manager might be seen as rude by a Thai colleague.
Or how silence is used. In Finland, a pause means thinking. In the US, it can feel awkward or negative.
And humor doesn't always translate either. A joke that's funny in Canada might confuse or offend someone in China.
And time perception, linear versus flexible. Germans are clock-driven. Latin Americans may take a more relaxed approach to deadlines.
Segment 6, Virtual and Remote Cross-Cultural Teams, 100 to 125 minutes. Today, remote work is the norm. What challenges emerge in global virtual teams?
Tons. From time zone coordination to lack of nonverbal cues, virtual settings magnify cultural misinterpretations.
Miscommunication often arises when we project our own norms on others. For example, assuming everyone's comfortable speaking up in meetings.
Or assuming cameras off means disengaged. In some cultures, people feel more respectful keeping the focus on voice.
Tools help, like setting shared norms, using emojis for tone, or adding cultural guides in onboarding.
And investing time to build trust, not just efficiency. That matters. Everywhere, but especially across cultures. Segment 7, Case Studies and Real-Life Examples, 125 to 150 minutes. Let's make this practical. Any stories you'd like to share?
Sure. One client had US and Japanese teams working on a product launch. The Americans pushed for decisions. The Japanese delayed to align internally. Tension rose until both teams were trained in each other's decision-making culture.
I remember a global NGO where a Kenyan leader's quiet style was misinterpreted as passivity by European colleagues. Once they understood his cultural communication pattern, respect skyrocketed. Stories like these show the importance of awareness, humility, and adaptation.
Segment 7, Building Global Competence, 150 to 165 minutes. So, how do we build global communication skills?
Start with self-awareness. Know your own cultural biases. Then develop empathy and curiosity.
Learn about other cultures' history, etiquette, values, communication styles, but don't stereotype.
Yes, use tools like the Cultural Intelligence Model, QC. It involves knowledge, motivation, strategy, and action.
And get feedback. Ask how you come across. Invite input from diverse colleagues.
Segment 8, Best Practices and Final Reflections, 165 to 180 minutes. Let's wrap up with 5 best practices for cross-cultural communication.
1. Practice active listening, especially in unfamiliar context.
2. Adapt your communication style based on your audience.
3. Use plain language and confirm understanding, especially in global settings.
4. Build psychological safety so everyone feels respected and included.
5. Stay humble. You'll make mistakes. Learn and grow from them.
Beautifully said. Culture is complex, but communication is what connects us. It's a lifelong journey of learning.
Thank you, Yogesh. And thanks to our listeners for staying with us on this global tour of communication.
Until next time, keep listening, learning, and leading with empathy.